back to my YouTube channel. It is Jordan. So today's story time is going to be about the time when I got kicked out of, banned from a hotel when I was in high school. If you watch any of my story times that took place when I was in high school, I was bad as fuck and I just felt like I knew everything, and this is definitely gonna be one of those story times. So this story takes place my freshman year of high school. Towards the end, I had a friend named Jazz. That's not her actual name, that's just gonna be her name in the story time. So my freshman year, I had a friend named Jazz, and Jazz was just like me in terms of being bad. Like, I was bad as fuck. I didn't listen, and me and Jazz were both boy crazy, and it was always with older boys, which is why I push so hard. Do not fuck with boys that are older than you, because you're gonna end up in BS like this. So we always fucked with older dudes. Now, I'll give it to Jazz. She was worse than me. Jazz was worse than me, but together we were still pretty bad. So it was the weekend, and I was gonna go to Jazz's house that weekend. My parents knew who Jazz was, but it was kind of like they weren't ever super pressed about like what we did together, because when she came over to my house, like, we were good. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, but when she came to my house, they didn't know that she was a Thuder Bop, and we didn't act like Thuder Bops. And same with her house, like, we didn't act like Thuder Bops, but she definitely had more chill parents, and which is crazy because I have really chill parents. But anyway, so I was gonna go to Jazz's house that weekend because there was a hotel party that one of Jazz's mans was hosting. Now, the thing about hosting Vegas parties is, like, half the hosts on the flyer will never be there, but he was definitely gonna be there, and it was a hotel party. So I'm like, oh, we can't go to that shit from my house, but we could go to it from your house. So Jazz was like, okay, like, you come over, blah blah blah. So I go over her house and we get ready for this party, and we, like, bro, it was like the most like 2017, 2018 fit ever. Just like some ripped jeans, some Vans, and a crop top. Like, bitch, we looked so stupid, and we probably thought we looked so good. But so we get ready and we Uber to this hotel party, which is crazy because we weren't even supposed to be taking Ubers, and I've gotten kicked out of so many Ubers because I wasn't 18. But we ended up Ubering to this hotel party. We get to the hotel. At first, it was just chill vibes. Like, it's me, Jazz, Jazz's man's, her man's friends, and like a few other girls. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is more a kickback, not a party kind of thing. Bitch, I was wrong. So we're at this hotel. They have like bottles. They have, and I wasn't, like, it's just hard because, like I said, I've been a social smoker, but I didn't even really get into any of that until like sophomore year. So I wasn't really fucking with it, but I was around the vibes, like inhaling the smoke that's fucking being blown in the room. And somebody actually from the hotel ended up coming up and knocking on the fucking room one time before before hella people even got there. Like I said, at this point, there were only a few people in the room. Ends up knocking on the door, and they're like, you guys are like smoking in this room. And Jazz's man is like, we're not smoking in this fucking room. Like, get the fuck away from this door, blah blah blah. Lady's like, or the person, I don't know if it was lady or dude, but they're like, you guys can't be smoking in this room, so don't smoke in the room. And he's like, we're not fucking smoking in the room, blah blah blah. Clearly we were smoking in the room. Like, everybody was smoking in the room. It was just stupid. So the lady or the man who came to the door ends up leaving, and we're just still on some chill shit. And then maybe like an hour after we get there, people just start coming in this bitch. And I mean, like, people. Like, at this point, this little hotel room is packed. Like, they didn't have a suite or anything. Like, it was just a regular hotel room. So obviously it's gonna fill up quick. Like, this is a little ass shit. Like, the bitch, this is at capacity. We are at our maximum. So I'm like, what the fuck? But me and Jazz are still chilling. This bitch Jazz, like I said, I wasn't a heavy like drinker or smoker my freshman year of high school. I don't think, like, I was around that shit, but I wasn't heavily into it. This bitch Jazz, though, was off her rocker. I mean, this bitch was gone. And we had to go back to Jazz's house that night. So this bitch Jazz is off her rocker. This bitch is gone. And I'm like, okay, bitch. So I pull Jazz to the side. I'm like, bitch, you need to slow down because we're going to have to Uber back to your house. And, like, you can't walk in your house like this. Like, no matter how chill your parents are, they don't want to see 14 or 15-year-old you fucking slumping over and shit, bitch. So I'm like, you need to, like, calm it down, bitch. Now, she's like, I'm good, girl, I'm good. And I'm like, okay, bitch, like, be good. So we're all just chilling. Like, some people are sitting on the bed, some people are standing up. They had like a speaker, but it wasn't like up, like it was up loud enough to where we could hear it, but it wasn't up super loud, because or else we would get a noise complaint and they would come in that room and see hella teenagers like fucking drinking and smoking weed. So we're just like chilling, whatever. And like I said, again, they're smoking weed. So like I said, the first time somebody came up, there wasn't hella people in the room. Somebody comes up again. So Jazz's man, this is like, he's supposed to be hosting this hotel thing. So Jazz's man is like, everybody shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. So he goes to the door and he like cracks up. He's like, what? And then this time it was a lady. She came up and she was like, she was mad. She was mad. She was like, who's all in this room? Like, you guys are smoking weed in this room. We're getting noise complaints from other guests on the floor. He's like, nobody's smoking weed in this room. Da, 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 da. She's like, you need to show me the room. You need to show me the room. So he opens the door and shows the room. And the room is packed. Like, this bitch is packed. There's bottles. There's weed. And this, I don't know if she was the manager of the hotel or what the fuck this lady was, but she got pissed the fuck off. She was pissed. She's like, everybody needs to leave this room right now, like underage drinking, blah, blah, blah. Like, obviously she's like trying to be more professional, but she's pissed. She's pissed. And she's like, I'm gonna call security. You guys are underage. You cannot be doing this. She's like, you guys need to leave now. Which is honestly not, like, at this point, that's like not that bad, because she definitely could have called the police on us and we all could have got like fucking tickets and shit. So I mean, the fact that she was originally just trying to kick us out is good. So people start leaving. Like, they're flooding out the room. They're walking past this bitch, running past this bitch, because she's telling us to get the fuck out, essentially. So I'm like, Jazz, let's go. This bitch Jazz is gone. She's like, I'm not fucking going nowhere. This is my man's hotel room. Da, da, da. And I'm like, okay, Jazz, this is the thing, babe. My parents don't know I'm here. We gotta go. And Jazz's man was like, she could stay here tonight with me. Sir, you're probably going to get kicked out of this hotel room yourself, so she can't stay anywhere with you. I'm like, no, we're about to Uber back to her house. Like, let's go. Jazz is like, just let me stay. Just let me stay. I'm like, Jazz, bitch. Like, at this point, I was starting to get mad, because like I was turned up off of a buzz from like the smoke in the room. I'm not like turned up because I have hella shit in my system. This bitch Jazz is drunk. She's high. Like, she's fucked up. So I'm getting pissed off. I'm like, but you're not staying. We came together. We're going to leave together. Get up. Like, no. She's like, I don't want to fucking leave the room. So at this point, the lady has called security. I'm like, Jazz, let's fucking go. So security comes up to the room. The security for the fucking hotel. I'm like, Jazz, let's go. Jazz is literally getting belligerent. Jazz's man at this point doesn't even know what to say, because he's probably like, I don't even know if I'm staying anymore, and I definitely don't want this belligerent ass bitch to stay. Like, she is going crazy. I don't want to fucking leave the room. I don't want to leave. So I'm like grabbing her. I'm like, bitch, let's go. So we're like trying to stumble out the door. The security guard is like, you guys need to have ID. Do you guys have ID? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, we don't have ID. And the guy's like, you guys need to get out of this. You guys need to get out of this room. You guys cannot come back to this hotel. Like, they're just yelling at us. And I'm like, just please don't call the police. I'm just like, please don't fucking call the police, right? So I'm like, Jazz, let's go. I'm like literally dragging this bitch. We're like stumbling out the room. The fucking hotel lady saying something to us. The security guard is saying something to us. Jazz's dumbass man is in the back like just looking stupid. I'm like, oh my god. So I'm like grabbing fucking Jazz. We're finally stumbling out the room. She's talking shit. She's like mumbling at this point. I'm like, bitch. So we get down to the fucking elevator with security. We're getting the full escort. We're getting stared at, because like the casino, like the hotels here on the strip, they have casinos at the bottom. So we're getting like, stared at. It's real cute. It's real fun. So we're walking out with our fucking security escort. The security guard is talking to me. He's like, you guys are getting so much trouble for this. Like, we could have called the police on you guys, blah, blah. And I'm just like, Jazz is just like, shit, I don't want to fucking call the police. And I'm just like, I know, like, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm like scared shitless, but I'm trying to be so calm, but I'm literally fucking terrified, because I'm like, it's the police. I don't want to go now. So I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, we're going to go home. I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. They're like, that room was at capacity. This is not okay. And then the other security guards, like, you guys cannot come back to this hotel. Like, this was not okay. And I'm just like, oh my God, I don't even know what to do. So finally, I'm like, Jazz, like, please order this fucking Uber, because she was the one ordering the Uber. It's like, bitch, I don't have a job. My parents aren't putting money on an Uber account or yours. So she's like, I'm ordering the Uber. I'm ordering the Uber. So she orders the Uber. We get in the fucking Uber. The Uber driver is like staring at us because we smell like fucking alcohol. We smell like marijuana. This bitch Jazz is like, she's not even fucking talking shit anymore, but she's just staring at the ceiling of the car like slumped. And I'm like, I just don't even know what to say. Like, I just don't even know what to say. So I'm like telling her, I'm like, you need to sober up. You need to sober up. Like, come on. I asked the Uber driver, I'm like, can you put the air on in the car? And you know, some Ubers have water and like Jolly Ranchers and shit in their car. Not this guy. He barely even fucking wanted to turn the air on for us. I'm like, can you please turn the air on for her? Like, please. Jazz is just like, and I'm like, oh my God. Her fucking phone is like dinging from her man texting her. And I'm like, this dude's a bitch. He's a bitch. He fucking barely helped me. So I'm like, this dude's a bitch. I was so irritated. So we get back to Jazz's house. And then I'm like, bitch, like, how are we supposed to get in the house now? Because I don't even know where, like, Jazz had she had a bag. Not a purse, but a bag. The only thing that was in her bag was her wallet. Her phone was in her hand. Her keys were nowhere to be found for her house. I'm like, okay, bitch, how are we gonna get in the house? So we ended up having to knock on the door for her parents to open the door for us. Her mom comes and opens the door, and she's like, and like I said, her parents were chill, so I didn't expect them to be mad, but I was just like, this is embarrassing. Like, I don't want them to tell my parents. Her mom was there, she's like, what the fuck happened to y'all? And I'm like, ma'am, like, girl, I'm like, so she lets us in the house. She's like, Jazz, you need to go take a shower. You need to drink some water. Da, da, da. And I'm just like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I didn't want to talk to her mom. I literally just went in her room. And I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? So, yeah. Jazz didn't really end up having a consequence. She took her shower. She just sobered up as much as she could for the fucking night and crawled in bed. And I'm just like, so then the next day, we wake up. This bitch acts like literally perfectly fine, as if she didn't just fucking get us kicked out of a hotel last night. They basically get us fucking banned, even though we didn't have to like sign anything for like a lifetime ban or anything. So I'm like, do you know how like you acted last night? The bitch was like, nope. But yeah, that's the life. I think Jazz and that dude ended up talking to each other. They never dated though, but they ended up talking to each other for a little bit longer after that. But that is basically growing up in Vegas as a teenager. Just hotel parties, doing the stupidest fucking shit. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this story. Let me know if you guys want more stories. I'm sorry that I keep taking breaks. I am so mentally ill. Depression is kicking my ass. No, seriously, this ain't seasonal depression. This is just depression. I'm fucking up. But yeah, let me know if you guys want more stories. Let me know if you guys like this one. Comment, subscribe, share, and bye guys.